Hello and welcome to CRT Basic to Advanced Mentorship. Today we'll be looking at market profiles. What are market profiles? A market profile is a detailed analysis of the market dynamics and looking at the market with a dynamic, mechanical and objective perspective. We have two ways to look at the market based on market profiles. We have the simple version and an advanced version. The simple version contains two profiles. We have a ranging profile and we then have an expansion profile. It is the most basic way of looking at the market. In this way, we look at the market from a ranging to an expansion, then the market ranges, then it expands again, then it ranges, then we have an expansion, then we range again, and then the market have an expansion. Our job as traders is to take part only on the expansion profiles when the market is expanding, whether to the downside or to the upper side. And this also acts as a filter so that we might avoid low probability conditions like our consolidation or ranging profiles. Therefore, we do not trade in these conditions. We only look for these conditions. Therefore, we then deem ranging profiles as low probability profiles. We then have advanced version. On the advanced version, this advanced version contains multiple profiles in consideration. We have a ranging profile, we have an expansion profile, we have a retracement profile. And then we then have a ranging profile, an expansion profile, and a reversal profile. And then we then look at the more advanced version of this, which contains one of the most important profiles, which is the manipulation profile. Therefore, when you are looking at the market, you then consider that the market will then range, it will then manipulate below the lows of the consolidation, and then we can have our expansion. Or if we are bearish, we will then consolidate, then we are expecting a manipulation above the highs, and then the market can expand lower. And this is what we want to be looking at when we are going into the market. In what profile is the market in right now? Is it ranging? If it is ranging, what is it that we need to do? Therefore, we need to know these profiles so that we might better position ourselves in the trade. So here are possible outcomes of these profiles. When we are having a ranging profile, the possible outcomes will be a manipulation after the market is ranging, or it can just range and then come out to an expansion. And then when we are in an expansion profile, what we are looking at it is that these are the possible outcomes that you can have. You will have a ranging profile. After the market has just expanded, it can just decide to go into a ranging profile, or it can go into a reversal profile, or it can retrace because the market wants to continue with another expansion. So these are the possible outcomes after an expansion has occurred. And then when you're looking at the retracement profile, it has two possible outcomes. After the market has retraced, it can then go into an expansion phase again, or it can go into a ranging phase. And then we have a manipulation profile, which only has one possible outcome, which is an expansion. After a manipulation, we only have an expansion profile. And then we have our reversal profile. The only outcome that we have after a reversal, it is a retracement profile. So after the market reverse, we'll then anticipate that the market will then retrace. So as we are looking at our markets, the only thing that we want to do in the market, we want to identify our expansion and reversal profile. So when we are in a ranging profile, we don't want to do anything, but we want to anticipate that manipulation. Then we want to catch the expansion. And what else we want to do? We want to catch our reversal profiles also. These are the two profiles that we are really interested in. And we want to avoid, as a beginner and as you are still learning about profiles, you want to focus on few profiles to trade on. Therefore, there will be an expansion and a reversal profile. But we then, as a beginner, we want to avoid a ranging profile. We want to avoid a manipulation profile. And we want to also avoid create a retracement profile, right? So what we'll do is that when the market is in a consolidation, we'll not do anything. When the market manipulates, we'll sit on our hands, and then as soon as the highs are taken after or of the consolidation, that is liquidity that is being taken out, and then we'll then consider joining the market on an expansion profile, right? And then we'll then ignore the retracement profile. We'll then have our dealing range high and low, and then we'll have our 50% below 50% with liquidity, and then when the market takes out that liquidity into 50%, we'll then consider positioning ourselves for this expansion that is coming after a retracement. So these are the only two scenarios that we'll be anticipating after avoiding these scenarios. So we'll be then looking at expansion and reversal profiles. These are the profiles that we will be focusing on in our trading, so that we might increase our chances of making money in these markets. I want us to look into these profiles. We'll use a lower time frame so that we might be able to move quickly. We'll start from this day. We can see that when the day began, we started with a consolidation profile. And with the consolidation profile, what are the outcomes, possible outcomes? We can have the market can manipulate, or it can expand right there and there. So we then see that the market then expanded to the downside. And then after an expansion has happened, what do we expect? We expect a reversal, a ranging profile, or a retracement. In this case, we have a retracement profile. After a retracement profile, that profile, how many possible outcomes does it have? It has two possible outcomes: an expansion or a ranging profile. So in this instant, we then had an expansion profile to the downside. In an expansion profile, when you are looking at that, what should you have? It's either you're going to have, there are three profiles after an expansion. You have a reversal, you have a ranging profile, and a retracement profile. So we then see that this retracement turned into a reversal. Then on a reversal profile, what outcome do we have? We only have one outcome. That outcome is a retracement. And then we then see that that market then does exactly that. It then retraces to the downside. And then after a retracement, what profile do we have? We have a ranging profile or an expansion profile. Therefore, in this case, we then got our expansion profile. The market then expanded to the high. Then on an expansion profile, what possible outcome can we have? We can have, after an expansion, you can have a ranging, a retracement, or a reversal. What did we have here? Immediately, we then went into a ranging profile. The market then ranged. On a ranging profile, how many possible outcomes do we have? The market can either manipulate, then expand. So what do we have in this instead? We then ranged. In a ranging, the market then manipulated to the low, gave us a manipulation from this area, take out liquidity, and then after manipulation profile, what profile do we have? A manipulation profile only has one profile left, which is an expansion. Therefore, after a manipulation, you only have an expansion. There's nothing else that you need to expect, all right? And then after an expansion profile, what can you have? It's either the market is going to go into consolidation before it expands. So we can then see that the market then went into a consolidation, then went into a manipulation profile below the lows. And then when we are at a manipulation profile, the only possible outcome is an expansion. Then the market then expanded. After an expansion, what can you have as a profile? We have reversal profile, a ranging profile, and then a retracement profile. As you can see, what then happened here, we then had a reversal profile, right? The market then took out these lows after it expanded, and then after a reversal profile, what other profile do we have? It only has one profile, which is a retracement profile, and the market then retraced into the range, right? So this is how you look at your profiles. We'll then build up on this knowledge as we continue to learn. Until next time, happy trading and be safe.